That's really old. Hi.
All right. Hello.
Got to look in a different spot.
I know. I'm like,
Where's the camera?
This is very awkward.
Yeah. They can't see the awkwardness.
You can't
we hit
see
it
the
well.
awkward. It's
But we're very cozy today.
We are. That's okay. It's just it feels really weird.
Yes. Yeah, it's a little awkward.
There's poles and cords in front of me that you guys can't see.
Yeah.
It's just very strange.
Yes. So
but that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully everybody can hear us. You can hear us?
Yep.
Hi.
Hopefully if not, somebody say something before we get too far into this. Because otherwise it looks kind of silly when we're talking to ourselves.
It does.
Yeah.
Where do I put the extra? That's the complicated part is having
all the different remotes. Yes. Hello.
Hi. Can you hear us, Karen? Let's
Hopefully.
hope so.
So it's Tuesday again.
It's Tuesday. Yes.
It's always Tuesday. We are.
It feels like that should be the show. It's always Tuesday.
It's always Tuesday.
It's always Tuesday at Leabu.
There you go. So.
Oh, good. Shirley can hear us.
Thank you, Shirley. So hello from South Dakota. Wow. Good sound. Thank you, Miss Carol Ann.
Yes.
Carolyn,
yay.
Sorry. Only one contact in. Fantastic. So good. The mics are, everything's working. You have to remember to unplug that the next time you have class.
I know.
So that you can hear everything going on with that too. It's
right.
the little things.
It's the little things.
So slow.
Yeah.
If you guys could see the cords and this crazy setup that we have, you would all be giggling just like we are looking around. There's just stuff.
There's just cords everywhere.
And then if you could see the floor, it would be
even more funny. Well, you'll get a good laugh when you realize that the camera for the scan and cut is backwards. So it's upside down.
It is.
So it's going to.
But that's okay.
It's okay.
You'll still get the idea of everything that we're doing. It won't matter even a little bit.
But it's perfectly fine up there.
It looks great.
It's always got to be something. It just always has to be something. And
because
I really want to like monkey with it, but I'm terrified that that'll mess things up.
It'll just mess things up. So I'm like, is there a rotate switch? And she's like, oh, I'm like, don't touch it.
Right. I also didn't hardwire in over here, which I usually do. That's okay.
Well, everything seems to be working. So we're just going to go with it.
Absolutely.
So it has been really crazy. We have gotten almost all of the candy corn quilt shops picked up. So you guys have all got your hands on those adorable fabrics and those adorable patterns and getting that going. And next week we are going to have the whirlwind tips and tricks tornado. Tips and tricks tornado. It will be blowing through.
It will be crazy. We will be on Tuesday
morning and afternoon. And Wednesday morning and afternoon.
Right.
And then Friday
morning. So it will feel like we're on all day long on Tuesday and Wednesday.
It kind of will, because I have a feeling we might go over an hour.
Could happen.
Doing 2 sections.
Sure.
But maybe not. You never know.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's exactly right. Technology is so much fun.
Yes.
So, what do we got? What'd you do this weekend? Did you sew?
I did do a little bit of sewing.
Making some bags still?
I was making my bag, and you and Hayden were gracious enough to help me pick out part of the fabric. And
we were both like, not this one.
Yeah, and I was smart enough to know that was a super thick vinyl that I was going to be putting in there, so I only used it in a couple of places. Yeah. But I wasn't smart enough in the sense that I put it on the front cover. I'll bring the bag next week. It'll be finished. I wasn't smart enough in the fact that the front cover part, it also has pleats in it. So where the vinyl sets down, and it just happens to be like on the outside edge of the bag. So it's like
uber thick,
3/4 of an inch thick in that spot. And it has no give, right? So
none at all.
And yeah, and of course you're trying to do a small little corner. So it's a square or a rectangle, and it was tiny there. So yeah, I said some bad words. I think I made up.
She said hand sewing over and over and
I
over
did.
again.
I think I made up some letters. Yeah, it was
drunken sailor down there.
I was,
Yeah.
So I kept getting so close, and then there would be like one spot where it would just, and I kept thinking, I'm so out of practice. I haven't made a bag in a while, so this shouldn't be that difficult. And then I got to the top part of the zipper, which I have done 100 times. I've done it 100 times, and I'm like, I feel like
this doing it's what I want it to do.
So I was like, it's like the instructions that were written on the pattern are different. And so I thought I was losing my mind, right? So I went to get another pattern, and it was different. So I had an older pattern. I wasn't losing my mind. No. But I thought I was losing my mind because I was like, these directions do not make any sense to me whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, they're good. So I stopped. I figured I used the seam ripper 3 times in this particular spot. And hi, Teresa, how are you? And so, yeah, I decided that I would come back to that part when I wasn't already feeling frustrated. So
that's always a good idea.
Right.
Yeah. I did a little bit of sewing, but not work sewing for a change.
Yes.
I had some other stuff that I needed to get done. I was doing a few bride robes for, I mean, we're friendly, I guess. I wouldn't say a friend, family friend of, I don't even know how to describe the relationship. Kids cheer coach back in the day.
Casual acquaintance.
Casual acquaintance, yes. But I used to date her. Her brother, no. Something, not brother. It doesn't matter. But anyway, long, like middle school, you know, not a real dating.
Yeah.
One of those. Anyway, long relationship of whatnots, but she was one of the girls' coaches, and had my number. You know, those people that got your number, right? So she asked me a couple months ago, hey, could you do this? And I'm like, I wasn't busy a couple months ago.
Right.
Sure, yeah, no problem. Yeah, well, last week she shows up with the robes, and I was like, oh. Great timing. Sure. She's like, well,
I don't have anything going on right now.
She's like, well, one of the weddings is this Saturday. I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. I stitched for a long time. Yeah, it was that lovely satiny, real thin.
Oh yeah,
fun, best fabric to embroider on ever.
Right? I know, it's so much fun.
But I'm happy. They turned out pretty good. I got 3 of the 4 done. The other wedding's not until December, and the last name is really long, and without shrinking it obnoxiously, it's going to need my 16-inch hoop, and it's not going to look great. So I'm trying to. We'll have to have a meeting of the minds and say, okay, what do you want me to do? You mean move it down?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to fit in the shoulder blades without really making it smaller. And yeah, it's 16 inches.
That's a lot of letters.
And I shrink it to boot, but I don't want to shrink it anymore. It's going to look silly. So yeah, that's what I did this week. Yeah. And then lots of videos, playing with videos. So much fun.
Isn't video editing so much fun? It's so much fun. Yes.
It's not so bad. It's just time consuming, but it's not so bad. It's just, wait, was that supposed to be with sound or without? Wait, what was I just doing? You kind of lose track when it's hours of sewing. Yeah. And you're like, I just watched the same part 5 times. What was I doing again?
Yeah. Why am I watching it again? You get tired of hearing your own voice.
You definitely get tired of hearing your own voice. I hate the sound of my voice at this point.
Me too.
So hope you guys don't hate the sound of our voices, because you're stuck with us.
Right.
But
I got some new frames.
I know. Yes. She's got them. They're so cute.
They're coffee cups. Can you see the coffee cups on them?
Well, I can see the coffee cups, but I don't know if they can. You can hold them up way over there, closer. There you go.
I'm too short. Now it's not focusing. Anyways, there's little coffee cups.
They are very, very adorable, and they look really cute with our shirt.
Yeah.
And they match our new t-shirts. We have new baby lock shirts.
Yeah, they're really cute.
Baby lock conventions now.
Yeah.
We should totally wear those next week.
We should.
Then we'll totally match.
Right?
New uniform. But yeah, so yesterday we got 2 little boxes from Brother.
We did.
We did. And it was late in the afternoon when I finally got them open. Shirley likes our voices. So sweet.
Cute magnetic. Yes. My hair is cute. I'm trying out my Disney Disney hairstyles.
She's got
my little pigtails.
Little piggies. This little piggy went to Disney. This little piggy went to Animal Kingdom.
Dave said it makes me look younger. He said that somebody's going to think that he's the creepy old guy when we're at Disney.
You're older than he is.
I know. Which is the funny part.
In my case,
yeah,
my husband shaves his head and has the current ZZ Top beard thing going on that's all white.
Yeah.
So I definitely look younger than he does.
That's good, right?
Yeah, well, I am younger than he is, but definitely look it.
But yeah, the Brother box came in.
Sorry. Totally sideline there.
Yes. I know, right?
It's all Shirley's fault. Totally blaming Shirley today. But yeah, super cute hair. But yes,
thank you.
So super fun little box.
Yeah.
So in that box, there were 24 rotary auto blade kits.
Right. And then we got 3 more today.
So
isn't that a weird number?
It's very weird. So I don't know what Gene was doing when he placed that order.
Couldn't have placed it for 27.
I'm really baffled on the whole 27 thing. Maybe there was just a typo.
Maybe.
But we got 27. So all of you who pre-ordered that should have been notified that. So if you didn't see it, you should have an email somewhere that is available here for you to pick up. Or if you ask for it to be shipped, it's already been packaged and it's ready for pickup.
Yep, I was sending out notifications early this morning.
So yeah, we didn't get to it yesterday because it came so late in the afternoon. But we cracked open the box first thing this morning and we played. So we are going to show you all about this fun little guy. So in the box, you of course get the little credit card size with the activation code. You can certainly try zooming in. I've already used the code, so it will do you no good. But you will get one of these in your box. And what that has on it are I think it was like 63 or something. I think it was 63 designs. Might even say on there. Sometimes it does. Look at that. Right there. 63.
That sounded like the right number. Yeah.
But yeah, so 63 designs, including alphabet, which is a chunk of those. So the activation is in there. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that. And then there is this cool new
blade.
It's heavy. And holder. It is quite a bit heavier than the other. And the blade is quite a bit different. So I don't know if you guys can see, it actually is the rotary. It's got a little tiny, it's really cute. It's just a little baby rotary. It's a wee little baby rotary cutter. It's this tiny little thing, and it fits in your carriage just like all of the other blades, but it looks little tiny guy. And so you've basically got everything you need to get started. So the idea behind that is rather than a blade that's just being pulled across your fabric, it's rolling like your rotary blade would be when you're cutting with a ruler. And so there's no drag on that fabric. So you get a really sharp, clean cut instead of that frayed edge that we sometimes get. So even with your fabric mat and whatnot and the blades that we have had, it is, it's just a really clean cut.
It is.
So what we had before, even with all of the correct tools.
Hi,
you want to see?
I love my scan and cut.
We got a new rotary blade.
Oh my.
Yep. And to answer your question, you're probably thinking, and Cheryl's question that she's posted, yes, we do have more than what was pre-ordered. So there are some available for purchase. And that bundle is $50.
Yes.
So there.
The car and watch your feed.
You can sit over here.
Have a seat right there and listen. We could have an audience today. It's live studio audience right there.
She can heckle us.
Right. Right. There you go. So to answer that question, yes, we do have some available, and we're going to show you how that all works today. So the it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Pretty and cool. So it's pretty. I make up words all the time, and then I get really sad when I look them up to see if I made up an actual new word and they're actually already in the Webster's dictionary, because that's just so sad.
Yeah.
It's just so sad. What was the last one? Do you remember?
No.
I don't remember. There was something
I
I made up, and I was like, I looked it up and
it was there.
It was already it was already a word.
Yeah.
I was like, that is such a bummer. So we of course had to play to make sure I knew what I was talking about. Not It is a little gravestone out of bat fabric from. So I used the cut files from the Candy Corn Quilt Shop.
Yeah.
Because of course, what else would I use?
Right.
Those are the most fun, most recent things. So
there's extra kits over there.
Yep, we have more of those available too. So yes, you can just wheel yourself right over there and check that out. And so we played a little bit there. So a couple tips that we found, even just playing that little bit. And then of course I played with the size and things too. So we're gonna show you guys how to do those.
Yeah.
And we talked about what comes in the box. So let's talk about what you do with it once you open the box.
Yeah, because it's a little different.
It is slightly. So I was a little bit surprised. You know, the last one that we got, I know, isn't it so adorable, Holly? I'm still in love with these.
Smitten with it.
I am still very, very smitten with this quilt. And I'm just so sad I haven't gotten to play with it in a couple of days. I want to go home and play with it, and I still can't. I got too much else to do. So sad. It's just tears running down the face. It's just so sad. So
Lisa.
This
adulting thing.
It's so rough. I want to be a mermaid. I'm done adulting. I'm just going to be something else today, and no more adulting. Okay, so in this, we had the vinyl blade kit, and there was a lot of confusion. See, I'm totally making up words today. Totally going to be in Webster soon.
Yes.
Very, very soon. I'm just going to keep making things up. One of the total sidebar here videos, I said, you can change your orange to thread. That's like, well, I guess I can't fix that. I'm not going to go back and change. I was editing and I was like, oh, look at that.
Oh, look, Diana just bought one.
There you go.
You can see them buying.
Yep, that pops up on screen.
Can, yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Now my watch.
And now the watch tells us too. Yep, my watch doesn't tell me that because I don't have that. I turned that off. I was like, I can't handle that. I did not have Mountain Dew. I have not had Mountain Dew in
months.
It's been 3 months. Yes, I miss it greatly.
Yeah, we gave it up.
I'm on my own personal high. I don't need Mountain Dew anymore. There you go. So, we have to open the box. Yes, you have to open the box. I already did. There's nothing left in the box. I already took everything out of it. It's an empty box. But
it's a cute box.
It is a very cute box. I think Alex thinks so too. Probably.
Is the elephant in there?
As a design? I believe so.
Those look like the things that you had.
It was a quilt piece.
Oh, I thought maybe they were the.
Yeah, I was
balloons.
originally playing with there's some quilting squares. I was originally playing with those designs at first, and then I was like, no, we're going to play with
Kimberbell.
We're going to play with Kimberbell because
everybody always asks about Kimberbell.
They always do. So, back to my original point was there was a lot of confusion. I said it
how
right
to activate
this time on how to activate the 2 cards that were in the Disney or the 1 card that was in the non-Disney vinyl blade kit that was a year ago. And it's like, okay, I have 2 cards. Where do I activate which one? Because they both looked like pattern cards, and it was just a little confusing. I don't have another word for that.
It was in the instructions, but
it was.
who
But
reads the
who actually
instructions?
downloads those?
We didn't.
I did this time.
We learned.
So
who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
I'm old. I'm not a dog, but I am getting older. So this is, even though it looks like it would be a premium activation, it is not this time around. Totally surprised me. This is just activating under pattern collection. So for all of you who have picked it up, have it shipping to you, or already ordered it or whatever, when you go to pull out that card and you have your code, you're going to click on the pattern collection tab. Pattern collection tab. Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so that's step one, very important. And then you can either download the entire set of designs all in one shot, or you can download individual designs, whichever you would prefer. Or, of course, you can, yep, we saw that, Diana. It popped right up on that screen. Congratulations. And, or you can, of course, use any other file.
Yeah.
So there aren't, at least to my knowledge, files that would not work. So any cut file, to my understanding, should work. I'm sure there's probably something out there that's
right.
You know, your delicate vinyl, you're going to want the vinyl blade. I mean, there's that
Right.
kind of thing I wouldn't recommend it for.
Right.
But for your fabric cuts, that's what this is intended for.
Yeah.
It is specifically intended for thicker things. So things that are up to 1 millimeter in thickness. So your batting, if you need to cut batting, puffier stuff that you have that you maybe couldn't cut before because it didn't work with the blades that we had.
Because it shifted and moved it.
That's what this is going to really help with.
Teresa just posted a comment.
Didn't even know I talked to my computer. Who knew?
Okay. I'm
Okay,
oh,
so
she's going again. We have a peanut gallery here today, guys. Okay, so again, I did download the actual, I guess, user's manual. That is already out there. So if you go to brotherusa.com, so it's the word brother-usa.com, you can type in whichever DX. This is only going to be compatible with a DX machine. Whichever one you have, type that in there. You can get the manuals, and it is compatible with all of those DX machines.
So just briefly, step one, there is a new update for your scan and cut.
Yep.
You must do the update on your scan and cut in order for this new blade to work. So you can activate on your computer. Yep, but you will need to have that on your...
So one of the really cool features in those DX models is that we have the ability to use, if we have a Wi-Fi connection, we can download the updates and do it right at the machine. So you don't have to do the whole, go to the Brother, download the thing, put it on the USB, go back to the machine, hold in the load map button, turn the machine on, and the whole process. And I lost half of you right there. But if you have a DX machine, you don't have to do that.
No.
So just turn your machine on and go to the settings button and turn that Wi-Fi on, and boom, you can do the update right there. That is necessary to be able to do the settings that I'm now going to talk about, because those settings won't be there if you don't update with a D, not a G, to the most current, which I didn't look to see which one that was. But let's take a peek. So I'll let you know what that version is, because I didn't bother to look. It's super helpful, right? It's the little things in life. Okay. So once you have that update installed, there are a couple settings that in the instruction manual, it tells you to actually go in there and check and make sure that you have those specific things adjusted.
So update your machine, put it in your computer, and print out the instructions.
I would definitely recommend that. Or if you really don't want to do any of those things, get out a piece of paper and write these things down right now so that you can do that. So if you have a DX machine and you're planning on getting this kit, you've already gotten this kit, and you don't want to go to that instruction manual, write this stuff down because it's super important. On the home screen, there's a wrench in the bottom right-hand corner. You're going to tap that little guy, and it's going to bring up the settings. This is the only place that you can access the entire list of settings for the machine. You have to go here to get everything.
If you want to flatten that a little bit, it'll be upside down, but they can see the...
I don't know if I can zoom in on that. Nope.
I could probably move the machine a little. There you go.
Okay. How's that?
Good.
upside down and everything.
We know it's upside down.
I can't fix that.
We can't fix
So
that.
sorry. It looked great on screen before. We're actually upside down. This is completely normal.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're sitting on our heads. That's it. Okay. So at the top of your screen, you see the words pattern interval. Your is probably set at 1. In the instructions, it tells you to set the pattern interval at 5 to automatically adjust the pattern layout. There's no reason stated in there, so I can't tell you why. It just says do this. So do this. Set it at 5. So pattern interval, which is on page 1, you're going to want to set at 5.
Which is the one on the bottom.
Which is this guy right here. All right. So I realize that it's upside down and I apologize. Over on here, we've got arrows so we can kind of page through things. The other things are, again, only going to show up if you have done that most recent update. So right here, we have the cut. I didn't mean to hit that. My bad. Let me go back up. What did I do? There's so many buttons. I hit all the way to the bottom. I apologize. So right here, we have cut mode rotary blade. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right. And it says normal, which has the default black box around it. That is what you're going to want to leave that on. However, if you are working with something that you need a little bit finer adjustment to, you can change that. So the other option is fine. You'll notice that that does not have that black box. That is the adjustment for that cut mode between either fine or normal. And the big thing that you're going to see is it will take longer if you switch it to fine, and it's going to take its time a little bit more to adjust that timing. So it doesn't really give me much of an example. It just says that the fine setting takes longer and is best suited to have normal for simple patterns. That's really all it says. There's not a lot of extra information in here. It just says do this.
Don't muddle your brain with all that.
Right?
Just
who needs the extra stuff? All right.
Don't
and then there is a second blade. Dang it. Okay. Well, tap that. My nails are longer than I thought, evidently. It says blade adjustment area. I'm just going to go back. My watch just told me to stand up. Does it not know I'm standing up?
Clearly.
Evidently. That's really weird. So right here, it says blade adjustment area, parentheses, rotary blade. So when we tap that, we have include material area on or off. And the default is going to be on. You can shut that off if you have a delicate material such as lace, silk, satin, something like that, that you don't want the blade to basically, I guess for lack of a better, test on the fabric. So if you wanted to only do its testing up in the adjustment bar at the top of the mat, you would want to turn that off so it wouldn't do that adjustment on the mat area, which is where your fabric would be. So those are the 3 settings that you would want to make those adjustments for. Again, update the machine and then they would become available. You have the cut mode, which would be either normal or fine. You have the pattern interval, which you want to change to 5. And you have the blade adjustment area that is going to be either on, which should be your default, or off. Once you have those adjusted, you can go ahead and click OK, and you would come back to your main screen that is, of course, upside down. So we would then pull up whatever design it is that you want to cut out. And where's my... Oh, that's really good.
Is that where that orange USB?
Nope.
No.
It was Captain Marvel, and I'm not really sure
Where you
what I was going to do. I see it, but I'm not really sure why I took it out.
You didn't want to lose Captain Marvel.
Well, you know, she probably flew over there because she can fly.
She can. She's super fly.
She is super fly. All right, let's try that one more time. Okay, so here are the SVG files for that kit. And I think we snagged that little guy right there. And I am just going to set that to the screen. And I'm going to shrink this because I'm just using some scrap fabric And in our testing, we decided that it definitely works better if you have, and it also does say that in the manual, if you actually bother to read it, that it works better if you have excess fabric around. You don't want to be cutting right out the edge. You want to have a little bit of workspace, for lack of a better word. So you can see here's my little headstone. I am going to hit that size, and you can do by percentages or not. Either way, it's going to do the same thing. We're going to shrink that down. Size doesn't really matter in this instance.
No.
So we just need it small enough to fit on the scrap of our fabric.
Right.
So I am going to,
just to be clear,
here.
If you were actually using this cut file for your Kimberbell project,
don't shrink that.
Just get a bigger piece of fabric.
Get a bigger piece of fabric is absolutely the correct answer for that. All right. So once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and load in my mat. So I'm just going to get all of this stuff out of the way.
Okay. We can zoom out.
And
we need a remote control for this camera to zoom in and out.
So I'm loading my mat. I'm just going to show them where the scanning item is.
Okay.
Before I zoomed out.
Just knocked my glasses off my face. Oh, that was funny.
Some sticky. All right. So I still have that same type of fabric. The very first cut I did, I wanted to see what would happen if I was lazy and did nothing and just slapped the fabric on there. It did actually pretty good.
Yeah, considering
I didn't starch it or anything. So here we are. We have the item ready to go at the size we want. I'm going to scan, which is that square with the blue, and start. So it's going to feed my mat through, and then it's going to show me on screen where my fabric is.
So make sure it's clear behind you when you scan this.
Yep. Don't have this right up against a wall or anything like that. You want to make sure that there is plenty of room for clearance. All right. And you can see actually super clear on the screen there. I want to make sure that my cut file is somewhere within that shaded area. If you have a darker area, you can change the color that you see. And so now you can tell it's completely black for all intent and purposes. I can't see my cut line. So that is what that lets me do, is basically fade out my fabrics. I would want it super dark if I had like white fabric so I could actually see the edges, because otherwise the white would match the white on my mat.
Right.
And I would need it darker so I could actually see the edges. What's the matter?
Teresa left. She said drive entertainment. Just
all
listening.
Right. So I just wanted you guys to see that adjustment in case you didn't know that that was available. So this will scan the blue square with the bar there. That will scan and show you what's on the mat. And then if you need to change the color and fade that out, that is under the wrench on this screen. So the wrench on these subsequent screens will only give you the tools that you can adjust that have to do with what's on that specific screen. The only place that you can get access to everything is on the home screen. All right, so I'm going to tip this back up and zoom out. How are we doing?
That looks good.
All right. So you guys saw what we had up there. And okay. I'm going to hit OK on screen, which you guys can kind of see. I left it shadowed down just a little bit so you can see that. This time we did actually prep this. So it's got some starch and we've pressed it. It's not just fabric cut off the bolt. It's got a little bit of prep in there. And like I said, I did shrink the design. The original, pardon.
Yeah.
You can see is practically the same width. I know it's the same. You can see it's literally almost the same width as my fabric. So we were getting really close to the edges. And it needs a larger surface area to hold tight the grip on the mat. So you want to make sure that you have room around so that it's not pulling the fabric up as it's cutting. Does that sound like a right description?
Yeah.
You want to add to that?
No, I think that's a good. I would say if you've ever used, like if you've ever done any type of applique where you're using like a fusible, you always want to chunk that out. You kind of want to think of this the same way. You need like a chunky piece of material that is going to be plenty big enough for the area. Kind of for the same reason. You don't want to cut all the way to the outside because it doesn't fuse.
It doesn't have that fused as well.
It's not as adhered as well.
You need a good surface area to get that good bond. Yep. Okay, so on screen, which I know you guys can't see super well, we have it cut selected. And the auto is on my pressure because this is a brand new blade. So I'm letting the machine do all the work for me. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit start. So when it does that, the blade is going to come across and it's going to check off the mat there. And I told it that it's okay to come and check on there. So that was one of those settings. It's checking on the fabric as well. And now it's going to do these little cuts, which it was kind of funny when we were like, why is it doing so many small cuts? But because that blade is kind of a one position, it's got to change positions to go in the curves or literally to change direction of that. So unlike the blade that we've previously had that drags, that took the curves as it went, this one is stopping and changing position as it goes. So
much more like a pizza cutter versus like the tip of an X-Acto knife.
Exactly. So you can see here, it literally cut perfectly. It's beautiful. I can grab the corner here. And I do have a spatula, but I didn't bother to use, my bad. And there is that beautiful cut. So you can see that I have very crisp edges. There are no frays. It is beautiful. So I would set that in and it would cover those edges perfectly. The only thing that is even slightly is that corner that I pushed my fingernail into, and that's my fault, not the machine's fault. So that is a beautiful, beautiful cut. And even with the fabric blade and the fabric mat, we still weren't getting this clean of a cut. It was pretty good, but not this clean.
Right.
It is just a beautiful cut. And notice there's no backing on here. I don't need it because it is, it's just such a sharp cut. We could pop that in there and there'd be no issues with using this as a even embroidery applique.
Yeah. So, I know, like now is a great time. Pick up this blade and, some of you are probably going to start making masks again. So, you could start cutting out your mask pieces.
Yep.
And these are going to do that little curve super nice. So there's a ton of masks, SVG files out there. Yep. This would be fantastic for that. And then you could make some cute little sayings to put on them with your vinyl or Or don't, if you embroider, it'll take a lot more time to embroider. Trust it. Use some heat transfer.
Well, and not only that, if you're going to embroider it, I would probably embroider it first because it's going to pull in too. So
exactly.
Make sure that if you do that, you embroider it first and then cut it out because.
Right. But how easy would it be to cut on this? Because you could literally just pull
move your
template right
over top of it and make sure it was centered or in position or whatnot. And you can see exactly happen as it goes.
Yes, it will work with cork fabric.
Absolutely would work with cork fabric. Absolutely, Louisa. So I'm not going to say that I wasn't interested in this, but I don't personally cut in generally that much fabric because I'm thinking, what I do isn't much quilting. So I embroider more and I'm a pretty good cut. And I'm like, well, I don't want to fuse backing to all of that and then go to my scan and cut and put all of that in there. It's a lot more work. I'm a pretty good cutter, so I can cut faster than taking all of those steps. But if I don't have to do anything other than starch my fabric, which guess what, I'm doing anyways.
Yeah.
This just made a huge difference.
It did.
This just opened up.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are like me, that, maybe you're not the quilter, so you didn't see that advantage of that fabric cutting piece so much.
Yeah.
This is huge.
Yeah, I think this is going to be really great. And I think it gives us that edge. So we're back in the Cricut people, they had this rotary blade for a while, and that was what they basically said. We've got clean edges on thin fabric, and we don't have to do anything special. We don't have to put any of that crap on the back of it, or we don't have to do any of that.
So I did try this, my first cut on a low tack mat, and I wasn't happy with it. It pushed a little bit. Now, granted, that wasn't starched fabric, but I don't think
it would make that big of a difference.
I don't think that it would make that much difference. The standard mat works great. I did clean it after my first few cuts. So anytime that you are cutting something that has fuzz, whether it is just standard cotton or whether it is, you know, fleece or something, which this would work great if you're cutting those fleece, your velveteens or any of those kinds of things that are going to make a mess that you really don't want to have to deal with cutting. This is going to do a great job of that. But you're going to need to make sure that you have a clean surface afterwards. Don't put your mat away with all of that fuzz in there, because then you're not going to clean it the next time. You're just going to slap it in the machine and cut. You want to make sure that you have a very clean surface, and that's going to keep that mat sticky
for longer,
for the longevity that you're wanting it to be used for.
Right.
If you slack off in cleaning it, you're going to end up buying a new mat sooner. So that usually follows up with, okay, great, how do I clean my mat? So I did bring this over in case, that's probably easier if we do it this way, isn't it? So this is totally awesome. You can pick this up here. As a matter of fact, I did buy some for the shop. So they're $2 a bottle here. So if you're already in and you want to pick some up, you can get it there in a regular spray bottle here, because when I went back to get some for the store, that's all they had available. Or you can use it as refill if you already have this or a different kind. But you can also get that at Dollar Trees, and it's Dollar Tree or
I think
Big Lots.
I was gonna say Big Lots.
Big Lots are the two places that I have seen it. I know you can get it on like Amazon, but it's stupid expensive on Amazon.
Right.
I don't understand how Amazon sells it for that kind of money. But I Googled it. I was curious when I was looking to find it for the shop to see, you know, maybe I could get it in bulk. And I was like, holy crap, nope, not there. But it is fantastic. And what you would want to do is literally spray each quadrant. So I literally spray each 4 corners. If the spray didn't come out fantastic, I give it a little extra. Don't douse. So you don't want to dump. It is a very strong cleaner. So I have heard people have sprayed the living daylights out of it, and it's actually eaten some of the cleaner. So you don't want to do that, and you don't want to just leave it to soak. That's not what we're doing. We're going to spray, and then I generally use my scraper out of the toolkit and just basically move it around. So I don't scrub. You don't want to do that. So just gently move it around. And what it'll do is it'll pull up all of those fuzz
Do
pieces.
we have the scraper here?
It's on the other side. Would you mind grabbing it? It's in the little box.
Why don't we do a little demonstration?
In a 2-section thing of paper towel. Thanks. Gonna eject the blade, or this is totally a blade. At least I'm tripping over my words, but not on my feet right now.
True.
I have tripped over how many things today? 4? I stopped at 4, right? Okay.
That was when we started counting.
That was when we started counting. So I was like, okay, I gotta stop now, because it's just literally things jumping out in front of me, but they actually haven't moved.
Totally saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. We had someone in the store this morning, and it was so cute. The tablecloth, it slides over, and it started to slide over, and she walked by it, and it kind of pulled out in front of her, and she was hysterical. She's like, I didn't know what it was. I thought my pants fell down.
That's a new one. I've not heard that one.
So that was really cute. But when you feel something like sort of,
running down,
you really know.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the Brother Scraper. So this is available separately, or it is in the toolkit that is zippered little guy. Again, this is just the totally awesome. It is not diluted. This is full strength, and this is just the. I really wish I could just flip the camera.
I know, right?
Jean just walked by. And then this is just standard, regular old paper towel. I think it's Bounty, but that doesn't matter. So I literally put a spray in every corner, and I just gently move the cleaner around, especially anywhere that you had fuzz. So I don't know if you guys can see, but the little black pieces of that fabric are now in my fuzz pile, for lack of a better description. So I just gently move everything around until I cover the whole mat. And I move it generally down to the bottom. You could move it to the top, doesn't really matter. But I generally have the bottom of the mat towards me. And if you notice, I'm not scrubbing. I'm very gently pushing the stuff around. And I can't even barely see the cut line at this point of where I just cut. But I had a little black outline from the fabric that is no longer there. So it's pulled up all the fuzz. I wipe my scraper off so I'm not putting it away wet. I fold that in. I pick up my pile. Okay. I fold that in, and then I wipe off the rest of the mat, and then I let it air dry. Once it's air dried, I put the clear plastic back over top, and you are ready to go for next time. Your mat should be just as sticky as you started if you do this every time you work the mat. It doesn't mean like I cut one piece of fabric and then I have to clean it before I cut another piece of fabric. But don't put it away dirty. Clean it when you're done. Put it away clean, and then it's not building up in those cut lines, because it will keep your mat fresh, and you will not end up having to come see us as often.
Not that we don't want to see you,
but we'd like to see you, but not for that reason,
right?
Because that's so sad. But I have actually had customers scrape off all of their adhesives. I don't want you to do that. So don't scrub and don't let the cleaner sit. You want to spray and then move it around. If you don't have a scraper or you can't find your scraper, I have used my fingers. I have really sensitive skin. I'm allergic to like everything. So it's pretty strong. So I don't use that very often. But if I can't find something and I'm showing somebody how to do it, or if I can't get something out of a cut line, I will take my fingers and rub in that cut line, and then the stuff comes right out, usually pretty simple. But then I wipe them off really fast.
Yeah.
So I don't like to leave the cleaner on my fingers either. But like I said, I do have, I'm just so sensitive.
You are.
But like I said, I do not dilute it. So, and there's, this whole dilution scale on the side of the bottle. Not diluted, leave it just as is and clean. And it's very, very important. That's how I clean all of them, including the fabric mat. That one's a little trickier. When you go to wipe it off, the paper towel wants to stick a little bit because it stays pretty sticky. Let them air dry and then cover them back up.
Yep, absolutely. And like she said, just keep doing it. It really does make a difference.
Yes.
And the other thing that I want to point out is we did that on this beautiful cabinet. You probably
maybe not want to put that cleaner.
It will take it can take the varnish off of your table. It will also take the markings off of your cutting mat at home if you have.
I've seen that.
Because I spritzed mine to wipe down, and there went the lines. So
yeah, I've cleaned my windows.
Yeah, you can clean a lot of stuff
you can
with
clean
it.
lots of stuff with it, but
pulled,
do be careful. It is very strong, and when it's not diluted.
Yes,
because of the way we're cleaning with it.
It pulled the ink off my rotary cutter mat really easily. So there's a little spot that's
so it's pretty dry,
and it's getting sticky again.
It's stuck to the table too, but it's literally.
Yep. Good job, Lisa.
It's stuck to the table. You guys can see I'm literally holding the mat. So that is very, very important. Sarah and I don't like to waste money either. So we understand you guys, only have so much money that you want to spend here, and we want you to spend it on fun stuff. So don't waste it on mats that you didn't want to have to buy until you have to buy them. So take good care of your stuff, and we'll help you do that. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
So that's what I have. Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. So I think with that we have 10-ish rotary kits left.
9.
9. Oh, 9, he says. So we've got 9 left. We certainly can order more, but that's where we're at right now. So if you would like one of those, that is where we're at. And again, that will work on all of the DX models.
Mhm.
So
they are up on the website for sale. And just FYI, I think the blades are a little bit more expensive.
they are.
So what are they usually are 15?
They're usually 15. I think they're 30. Yeah.
So the replacement blades for these are a little bit more expensive than the previous version. So we didn't want you to get sticker shock. We'll give you the sticker shock now.
Yes.
So
Get it
that
over
you
with.
don't think we did it.
We weren't hiding it.
No, we're not.
And something else just popped in my head, not to do with the sticker shock thing. The scanner lever on the side has the 1 and the 2. It does say you want to cut at 1. So flip that down to 1 if you didn't already. Can you see a picture again? I came into the game late. I assume you mean of the box itself?
No, you cannot, Holly. You're gonna have to start at the beginning.
Yeah, gotta wait. We're big meanies. So this is the rotary auto blade kit. Those are some of the files that you will get. You'll see that those are puffy. So there's, stuff behind there. So you got batting and things that you can also cut in there. That comes with the auto blade and holder. And then with the card with the activation that has 63 designs. Here is the blade itself, and it has
A good
some
weight.
serious weight to it. That is the piece. And again, you can see it's literally got that rotary blade. And you can tell it's literally just like a regular, which is why it had to stop and change direction in the machine. It can't just turn a corner. It had to pick up and move. And then I don't know what else you were talking about. This is the cleaner. So I think that's just about everything.
Yeah, that is about everything.
Here's my cute little headstone. There you go. So both the blades, yes,
And the
the
replacements.
blades and the replacements are on the site, so you can pick those up if you would like. And of course, you guys can always call and ask questions if you have some, if they're not typed in there.
Yep, and we'll be on tomorrow at 3 with the pet kerchief.
Is that tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. Yep.
Wow. Okay. Yep. See you tomorrow.
So maybe we can pre-cut some of our pieces for there's leather. So maybe we can cut some leather
That would be great, because I would really like to not have to cut that.
Yeah.
There's a little.
So I know sometimes they don't do that for raw edge applique pieces.
They don't usually supply that,
But maybe we can play with that.
but I know how to create that.
Well, and you might not have to, because they give you regular applique files for it. So we have both sewing and embroidery files, which is going to have the shape. So we may be able to do that.
Our machines can create a cut file from an applique stitch.
They can.
They can.
So we have lots of choices.
So we might be able to even maybe show people how to do that if they'd like to.
Yeah. Tomorrow
we'll
we'll have
part of our stitch out.
We'll have some.
We'll have some tricks for you in the
treats.
after. I was gonna say morning.
Yeah. No.
And treats.
And treats. Yeah.
Somebody gonna bring cookies? I want a cookie.
It's a pecker treat. No, you didn't get it.
No.
Okay.
I'm not a dog. Thought we had that conversation.
You keep saying that. No, I'm kidding.
We already had this conversation.
Okay.
So I don't remember why I wasn't a dog the first time around. Okay.
Holly loves tricks and cookies and ice cream.
No
Okay,
doubt.
so bring them to us, and then we'll give you all the tips.
I think after my 12-hour shift today, I'm going to go get a cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you look up the Crumble menu?
I did. I wasn't super excited, but there's a watermelon sugar cookie that I'm kind of stoked about. So
On that note,
you guys got to check out Crumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out, Holly. You'd love them. So, okay. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed this afternoon's little tidbits. And, who doesn't want to learn how to cut a headstone?
That's right.
Absolutely. I got to work on that little graveyard. All right. You guys have a great one. We'll see some of you guys tomorrow afternoon. And if not, have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Or
Bye, guys.
tomorrow. Bye.
Try this hand.